This is West African Voice Network.
Hello and many thanks for joining us on Newswave on West African Voice Network. I am Fatima Ibrahim. Let's begin with development in Senegal as France begins military withdrawal with first base transfers. Senegal will officially assume control of 2 French military sites on Friday as part of France's phased withdrawal from the country, according to French military sources. The Marseille and Saint-Exupéry district, located near Han Park and the port of Dakar, will now be under Senegalese authority. The transition will take place through a formal signing process with no planned public ceremony. The Senegalese source described the procedure as a routine step in the broader transfer process. France still maintains 3 other military installations in the country, including a naval base at the port, a facility in Wakam Central District, and a maritime surveillance site in Rosfik. A joint Franco-Senegalese commission is set to finalize the timeline for transferring these remaining bases in the coming days. We now head to Guinea-Bissau as political crisis deepens with opposition leader rejecting President Embalo's legitimacy. President of the Deserved National People's Assembly, Domingos Simões Pereira, has challenged the legitimacy of outgoing President Umaru Sissoco Embalo, asserting that his term officially ended on February 27, 2025. Pereira insisted that in the absence of a newly elected leader, the country's governance should be entrusted to the President of the National Assembly until elections scheduled for November 30, 2025. In a statement shared on social media, Pereira urged the Standing Committee of the National People's Assembly to take the lead in overseeing the transition. His remarks come despite Embalo's dissolving the Assembly in December 2023 and citing general elections for late 2025. Meanwhile, Embalo, who had previously ruled out seeking another term, has now declared his candidacy. His government recently expelled a joint ECOWAS-UNOWAS mission from the country before it could present a crisis resolution proposal. The political landscape in Guinea-Bissau remains highly volatile, with ongoing institutional conflict and growing uncertainty surrounding the transition process. And in the Sahel, AES strengthens regional security with joint military operation. The Alliance of Sahel States, AES, has reinforced its defense strategy with the deployment of a unified military force, Operation Yeriko II, in the tri-border region of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. According to the Malian Armed Forces Directorate of Information and Public Relations, the joint military initiative took place from February 24th to March 6th, 2025. The move aligns with the security commitment made in January by Niger's Defense Minister, General Salifou Modi. Coordinated from the Pesiat EST base in Gao, Mali, the operation covered key locations including Tessit in Mali, Terra in Niger, and Makoy in Burkina Faso, along with surrounding areas. This deployment highlights the alliance's push for self-sufficiency in regional security following its withdrawal from the G5 Sahel and ECOWAS. The AES aims to establish a 5,000-strong regional force with advanced air, land, and intelligence capacities to bolster security across the Sahel. In Mauritania, the country firmly rejects migrant expulsion allegations. Mauritania's government has firmly denied accusations of migrant expulsions, dismissing claims that it serves as a guardian of European borders. At a press conference on Thursday following the Council of Ministers' weekly meeting, government spokesman Hussein Ould Meadow, who also serves as Minister of Culture and Relations, defended Mauritania's migration policy. He emphasized the country's unique approach to managing migration and fostering relations with neighboring nations. Addressing claims that Mauritania enforces European border policy, Ould Meadow firmly dismissed the notion, adding that the country cooperates with Europe to address the global challenge of irregular migration. He categorically rejected allegations of mass expulsions, calling them grossly exaggerated, and clarified that security operations targeting irregular migrations align with Mauritania's national and international commitments. The minister also highlighted the country's role as a refuge. He pointed out that Mauritania's second largest city is home to a significant significant refugee population. And to regional matters, UN releases $110 million to address global humanitarian crisis amid funding shortfall. The United Nations has announced an emergency allocation of $110 million to counter the sharp decline in global humanitarian aid, with a strong focus on Africa. The UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, said the funds drawn from the Central Emergency Response Fund, CERF, will support life-saving efforts in 10 of the most underfunded and overlooked cities across Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Tom Fletcher, Emergency Relief Coordinator and head of OCHA, stated that the funds is particularly targeted to countries grappling with conflict, climate change, and economic instability. OCHA reports that only 5% of the required $45 billion to assist 185 million people has been secured, leaving a staggering $42 billion deficit, partly due to the funding cuts announced by the Trump administration. A third of the funding will go towards the humanitarian response in Sudan, where civil war since April 2023 has led to the world's worst humanitarian crisis, as well as in neighboring Chad, which is sheltering a large influx of refugees fleeing the violence. Other recipient countries include Afghanistan, the Central African Republic, Honduras, Mauritania, Somalia, Venezuela, and Zambia. And that's it on Newswave on West African Voice Network. For more news from across the region and beyond, visit wavn.org. You can also stay connected with us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at WAVN News, and on TikTok and YouTube at West African Voice Network. I am Fatima Ibrahim. Thank you for listening.